If it feels like you're doing everything in your business, there's a good chance you actually are. And that's usually the point where growth starts to slow down, even if everything still looks like it's moving forward on the surface. I'm Kyle Willis, VP of Growth at BELAY. I spend a lot of time working with CEOs who are trying to scale their business while also getting some of their time back. And one of the first things we look at together is what's still sitting on their plate that no longer needs to be there. Most of the time, it's not one major responsibility that's causing the issue. It's a handful of smaller, repeatable tasks that show up every day or every week and quietly take up more time than they should. In this video, I want to walk through 5 of the most common ones we see and explain why letting go of them tends to create immediate capacity. The first task to delegate is your calendar. Managing your own calendar is one of the clearest indicators that too much coordination is still sitting with the leader. Throughout the day, new requests come in, meetings need to be adjusted, and priorities shift. So it's easy to spend more time than you realize just reacting to what's coming at you. When someone else owns your calendar, it creates a different experience. Instead of filling your schedule based on incoming requests, your time is structured around what actually matters. There's more intention behind how your day is built, and fewer interruptions pulling you off track. Another area that deserves attention is your inbox. Your inbox is one of the main places where other people's priorities show up, and it has a way of pulling your attention throughout the day in small but consistent ways. Even quick check-ins create context switching, which makes it harder to stay focused on important work. When someone else owns your inbox, they can filter what actually needs your attention and handle a large portion of the communication without you being directly involved. This allows you to stay informed while also protecting your focus, which is where a lot of leaders start to feel meaningful time come back. The third task is one most leaders overlook. Meetings themselves aren't usually the problem. The work that happens after the meeting is where a lot of time gets absorbed. Writing recap emails, assigning next steps, and following up later to make sure things were completed often ends up sitting with the leader when ownership isn't clearly defined. When that follow-up process is owned by someone else, meetings become more effective without creating additional work afterward. Things move forward consistently, and the leader doesn't have to stay involved just to make sure execution happens. A lot of time gets lost in coordination. A surprising amount of time goes into coordinating work across a team. Checking on progress, making sure timelines are being met, and helping things move from one step to the next can take up a significant portion of the day, even if it doesn't feel like a single defined task. When coordination is owned elsewhere, the leader can step into conversations when decisions are needed rather than staying involved in the ongoing management of every moving piece. That shift alone changes how much mental space is available throughout the week. The fifth task is gathering information. Many CEOs still spend time gathering information, pulling reports, or organizing updates so they can understand what's happening in the business. While that visibility is important, building the information itself isn't where their time is most valuable. When someone else owns this process, information is delivered in a way that's easier to review and act on. The leader stays focused on interpretation and decision-making instead of spending time assembling the inputs. Here's why these 5 matter so much. None of these responsibilities stand out as a major issue on their own, which is why they tend to stay in place longer than they should. But when they all sit with the leader at the same time, they create a steady layer of work that limits capacity. That constant level of involvement makes it harder to step back, think strategically, and stay focused on growth. Over time, it becomes less about how hard you're working and more about how your time is being used. Here's where to start. If you're looking at this list and recognizing several of these areas, the goal isn't to change everything at once. A better approach is to start with the task that shows up most consistently and interrupts your day the most. Once ownership is established there, you can build from that foundation. That's usually how leaders start to see progress without making the process more complicated than it needs to be. If you want help figuring out what to delegate first and how to structure it so it actually creates capacity, download our guide, Delegate to Elevate. It will walk you through how to approach delegation in a practical way, and you can find the link in the description.